Everyone, I'm here today taking a look at the Jurassic World Dino rivals, Allosaurus. Now here he is in his packaging, his standard Jurassic World Dino rivals packaging from Mattel. It doesn't have the Battle at Big Rock logo on it though in the UK, whereas in America if you buy this it has Battle at Big Rock advertised here. So I don't know if that means the Allosaurus is actually going to be in Battle at Big Rock or not, and if it's going to look like this, because this Allosaurus looks quite a bit different from the one we saw in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and from the previous one we've had in the line. And I actually prefer this design over the first one we got. The colour scheme's quite vibrant and I kind of like that, but I also kind of like them to look a bit more what I would imagine being realistic, but of course we don't know what they looked like in real life, so maybe they were really colourful like this, like exotic birds. But it's got a far more defined sculpt to it. The original one had a kind of softer, more rounded look to it, whereas this has got a lot of jagged edges and points to it, as well as these scales down the back there. The sculpt on this guy, much like the Albertosaurus and one of the recent Velociraptors, reminds me a lot of the artwork in Age of Reptiles. So I don't know if someone on Mattel's design and sculpt team is a fan of that comic series or if it's just coincidence. And normally the mouth's hanging open like this all the time. I slide a little thin bit of plastic underneath there just to hold the mouth closed, because I prefer it to be closed when I've got it just posing on the shelf neutral. But with the mouth hanging open, if you press the button on his back, the mouth closes. He's got like a blue tongue, which I find really strange. It looks like he's been eating like blackberry sweets or something. But then the second button on his back, if you press that, it makes his claws go up and down as if he's attacking, which I like. It makes more sense than having his tail wiggle. Now I don't have as much trouble standing this guy as I did the first Allosaurus. After a while he tends to fall over, but this one can be a bit funny to balance as well. He's actually got the same arms and legs as the first Allosaurus we got. It's just the body, the head and the tail that are different. Now for articulation, the arms go out to the sides. They do kind of go up and down a bit, but they'll spring back because of the action feature. So it's mainly just up and down, out to the sides. The legs go forward and backwards, and out to the side slightly as well. And the tail swivels as well. But the tail on mine's really loose, so it's constantly kind of getting in a funny position like that. So I might actually glue it just to hold it in place. I don't really need the tail to swivel because it breaks the sculpt up anyway, and I don't think it looks right to have it any other way than that, so that it all matches up. But I do like how vibrant this paint job is with the blue all down him, and I love the face sculpt. I do love all that detailing. It looks more ferocious than the first Allosaurus. If I bring him in here, you can really see the difference. They almost look like two different dinosaurs. I don't know which one's more accurate to real life or not, but if you wanted to, you could have it look like one's male and one's female or something, to explain away the differences. But even though the bodies are a different sculpt, they've given them sort of certain details in the same place. Like there's a couple of scratches as if he's been in a fight and he's got some scars, and they're in the same place on the new one, even though the actual body itself is a completely different mould. They haven't reused this body. So it's strange that they've kind of sculpted a new body mould and yet given it details like that in the same place. So I don't know if perhaps this is supposed to be an adult version of this one that we saw in Fallen Kingdom, or if it's just coincidence that they happen to put those scratches in the same place on both toys. As I say, the arms there are exactly the same, as are the legs. It's really nice having another Allosaurus, because I like having multiple different dinosaurs from the same species, but that aren't just repaints. It's nice having a bit of a different mould. See there, like I said about the balance issues, and it's because mainly with this new Allosaurus, the legs don't lock in, they're very loose, they only kind of lock in when you have him really upright like that. But I want my Allosaurus kind of pointing forward, but because the legs don't click in and lock there, and they are quite loose, he eventually does slide forward more and more and more until he falls over, which can be a bit annoying. The nails on his hands aren't painted, but that's pretty standard, so I think we all expect that now anyway. But it doesn't look bad for the hand nails not being painted. The toenails are grey. I'm looking forward to seeing Battle at Big Rock and if this Allosaurus will actually appear in it, because it's a pretty cool design. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll catch you next time.